The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Sarah Chen stepped forward, her modest human form dwarfed by the towering representatives of the galaxy's most powerful civilizations. The Krelian War Master, standing 12 feet tall with chitinous armor naturally grown from his exoskeleton, sneered down at her. Beside him, the crystalline Vorthak Prime hummed with barely contained energy that could level mountains. "The humans request an audience," announced the Council Arbiter, his 6 arms gesturing dismissively. "Though we fail to see what this primitive species could possibly contribute to galactic affairs." Sarah's expression remained calm, though those who knew humans well might have recognized the dangerous stillness in her posture. Behind her, Captain Marcus Rodriguez of the UES Defiance maintained perfect military bearing, his hand resting casually near his sidearm, a gesture that meant nothing to the aliens present, but everything to those who understood human body language. "Honored representatives," Sarah began, her voice carrying clearly through the vast chamber. "We come not as supplicants, but as neighbors offering a final courtesy." The Krelian War Master's mandibles clicked in what passed for laughter among his species. "Courtesy? Your kind struggles to survive on a single world while we command star systems. The Krelian hegemony alone controls 47 inhabited planets and could strip your Earth of all life within a solar cycle." "Impressive," Sarah acknowledged with a slight nod, "though I notice you said could." The chamber erupted in a cacophony of alien languages as various representatives expressed their outrage at the humans' perceived insolence. The Vorthak Prime's crystalline form blazed brighter, while the massive Gorthani delegate slammed a fist the size of a small vehicle against his podium. "Silence!" The War Master's roar echoed through the chamber. "You dare suggest we couldn't eradicate your pathetic species?" Sarah's smile was small, but those familiar with human expressions might have found it deeply unsettling. "Oh, I'm certain you could, War Master. Just as I'm certain the Vorthak could turn our sun into a weapon, or the Gorthani could crack our planet like an egg with their gravity manipulators." She paused, letting her words sink in before continuing. "The question isn't whether you could destroy us. The question is whether you've considered why you haven't already tried." Captain Rodriguez stepped forward slightly, his movement precise and controlled. "Permission to speak, Ambassador?" "Granted, Captain." Rodriguez's voice carried the weight of someone who had seen too much combat. "We've been studying your civilizations for decades, your military doctrines, your territorial expansion patterns, your methods of dealing with obstacles." The War Master leaned forward, interested despite himself. "And what have you concluded, little warrior? That you've all made the same fundamental error in judgment about humanity." The Vorthak Prime's harmonic voice resonated through the chamber. "And what error is that, human?" Sarah took another step forward, her diplomatic composure finally showing cracks, not of fear but of barely restrained intensity. "You've assumed that because we haven't expanded beyond our solar system, because we haven't built a military empire spanning dozens of worlds, because we've been polite in our interactions with your species, you've assumed this represents the limits of human capability." The chamber had grown unnaturally quiet. Several of the more perceptive delegates were beginning to look uneasy. "You see," Rodriguez continued, "humans have this peculiar trait. We tend to match the energy we're given. When we're welcomed as equals, we respond with friendship and cooperation. When we're treated as curiosities, we respond with patience and understanding." Sarah's voice dropped to barely above a whisper, yet it carried to every corner of the vast chamber. "But when we're threatened, when our home is mentioned in the same breath as words like strip of all life and eradicate, well, that's when you discover why human history is written in blood." The War Master's confidence was beginning to waver. "What are you implying, human?" "I'm not implying anything, War Master. I'm stating a fact." Sarah's hand moved to a small device on her wrist. "Captain, would you care to share our recent archaeological findings?" Rodriguez activated a holographic display that materialized in the center of the chamber. Images of Earth flashed by, cities reduced to rubble, vast battlefields, mountains of skulls, mushroom clouds blooming over devastated landscapes. "This is our homeworld," Rodriguez said matter-of-factly. "Every image you're seeing represents a different period in human history. We've never encountered another intelligent species, so for the past 10,000 years, we've been perfecting the art of warfare against each other." The display shifted to show military statistics, weapons specifications, casualty counts that made several alien delegates recoil in horror. "The humans have fought 14,000 documented wars in their recorded history," the captain continued. "They've developed over 3,000 distinct ways to kill efficiently. They've created weapons capable of ending all life on their planet. And they've shown enough restraint not to use them." Sarah's smile had vanished entirely. "So here's our courtesy warning to the galaxy's strongest civilizations. We came to you in peace not because we're weak, but because we chose to. We've been polite not because we're inferior, but because we believed in diplomacy." She tapped. Her wrist device and the display changed to show sleek human vessels emerging from hidden bases throughout the solar system. Hundreds of them, their designs clearly built for one purpose. "But if you mistake our courtesy for weakness, if you threaten our world or our people, you'll discover why a species that spent millennia fighting itself can adapt to fighting anyone else very, very quickly." The War Master's exoskeleton had paled to a sickly gray-green. "How many ships?" "Enough," Sarah replied simply. "The question now is whether the galaxy's strongest civilizations are wise enough to choose diplomacy, or whether you'd prefer to test the resolve of a species that considers extinction-level warfare a learning experience." The chamber remained silent for a long moment before the council arbiter spoke, his 6 arms trembling slightly. "The council recognizes Earth's sovereignty and requests formal diplomatic relations." Sarah's diplomatic smile returned, warm and genuine. "We accept. Shall we discuss trade agreements?" As the session moved into formal negotiations, Captain Rodriguez leaned close to whisper, "Think they bought it?" Sarah's whisper carried just a hint of dark amusement. "Marcus, we didn't lie about a single thing. That's what makes it so terrifying." Outside the council chambers, the galaxy's strongest civilizations were already sending messages home. "Do not provoke the humans."